Welcome back, everybody. Backyard Country Living. I'm Jeff. Man, summer has set in. It's rough out here right now. Good old southern heat and humidity. 95, between 95 and 100 this week, and the garden is suffering. So we're going to see if we can give it a little relief. Never been a big fan of Spencer and I both. You know, we have the garden in between our houses, and it's a pretty good sized garden. Never been a big fan when the weather gets dry of using your well a lot to, I don't want to put a strain on our wells. We're both on, you know, we don't have county water or city water or anything like that. And if we did, I probably wouldn't want to pay that water bill either. So what we have here is the old homemade water trailer. This is a trailer I repurposed several years ago. Got a tank on it, as you can see, and we're going to use that to give the garden some relief. I'll show you a little bit close up about it, and we'll get this sucker filled up and see what we can do. So, taking a close look up at the water trailer, as we call it. This is an old trailer my dad probably bought back in the 70s. It used to have a oak board flat bed on it. Back in the day when I was younger, we used to use it behind the pickup truck and haul tobacco sheets filled with tobacco to the market back in the day. And it sat out, you know, once we were through with using it for that purpose, it sat out in the weeds for a long time. And I don't know, maybe some 10 years ago or so, I got it and repurposed it, put new treated wood on it, and believe it or not, I had somebody give me this tank, 500-gallon tank. So I said, I got to figure out a use for that. So it worked out good to go on this trailer. Added a few other things. This is just a metal aluminum toolbox off of a truck I had years ago, and use that to keep you know, different stuff that we may need. Some jugs to prime the pumps, some hose clamps, funnel, you know, different things. I usually keep a drop cord in there for the electric pump. I'll show you in a second, but just general stuff to keep stuff that, you know, may go with what we need to use for the trailer here. So back here on the back, I keep these covers over it so I can leave it hooked to the tractor when we're using it mostly in the summertime and not have to worry about the rain, you know, getting the pumps wet and stuff. So this is just an electric 120-volt garden pump. So where our garden is, we have a drop cord that's not too far away that we can run power from the building to plug in this pump. So once we get her filled up, we'll stick this intake hose into the tank. We'll hook a garden hose here. We got a shut-off valve, and we'll hook it to a sprinkler. So that's, you know, one method that we can you know, use to irrigate the garden. And then of course here is the pump, gasoline pump, that we use to fill the tank. It's not the largest one. It's just a 1-inch pump. I think 1-inch hose. I think it's about 37 gallons a minute, but you know, it fills it up, you know, pretty quicker than you would think. So what we're going to do now is get the intake hose from the pump, which you see here, and it does have a strainer on it. So you know, we try obviously not to suck no more trash in there than we have to. But we've got a metal stake. Here's the strainer. You can see I've got some wire wrapped around here. We've got a metal stake out there, a little bit deeper water. So we're going to see if we can get this attached onto that stake. So we'll be sucking clean water out in the deep, and then we'll see about getting this thing filled up. Alright, so we've got the hose, as you can see, attached to that metal stake out in the water there, so shouldn't have any problem with that. And this is about a 2-acre pond, so I don't think we're in no worries about you know, draining it dry or anything. Alright, let's see if we can get this engine started up. It always may be a little tricky here. Let's see if we can get her started up and get this thing primed. I already filled the prime plug right here with water, so. Alright, there you have it, folks. We got her filled up, got everything packed up, ready to go. Hope the tires will make the trip. We got about a 1/4 mile from our house, mostly through the path, to get back to, you know, from here to get back to the garden site. And I forgot to mention, the reason for the tarp on here is, you know, when it's sitting out in the sun, I try to help keep it dark in the tank, you know, to help, you know, so the algae doesn't grow as much or whatever, trying to keep it dark, you know, don't want to promote algae and stuff growing in the tank. And we got this thing hooked to the Massey today. We hadn't talked a whole lot about the Massey. That's one of my tractors I already had before I got the Coyote. More of the ag type tractor that I mentioned in one of my reviews. So she's a, kind of look at that like the Sherman tank. It's pretty tough, pretty heavy duty. So we're going to be using her to pull this thing out of here today. Maybe we'll do a review on that some point later, and maybe even we'll compare that with the Coyote. Kind of like old school 1998 versus, you know, newer tractor up today. Anyway, we're gonna get it to the garden and see if we can get it wet. Everybody, we have arrived at the garden site. You can see here we've got mostly the vegetable garden from about midway over to the right side, and then Spencer's wife is big into flowering. We got the other side of the garden flowers. So we're going to use, we got two different methods we can deliver the water to the garden. We got the sprinkler, tripod sprinkler sitting out there with the hose pipe connected back to the garden pump here. We got the intake ran into the top of the tank. So we'll get that fired up. Should be able to get it primed, get the sprinkler going over there through the drain of the tank. We've got a hose here going into a larger hose, kind of redneck engineering here, old pool hose I believe it was. We're going to flood the middle on some of these roads down. The garden kind of slopes downhill that direction. So we're going to just, I got kind of dammed up on the other end. We're going to flood some of these middles, and then, you know, the corn and stuff, we'll get that water once we do that. So anyway, let's see if we can get the garden pump cranked up first here and get that going. Another thing about this method, and I've experienced this firsthand, walk off, and you know, if you forget about it, then you just empty the barrel. Walk off and forget about the running off the well, then you may not have any water later tonight. So definitely don't want that to happen. Okay, our other method, you see we got a gate valve here on the back of the tank, it's the drain. We're going to try this little short hose here. We're going to just slide it inside this old pool hose and see if we can flood the middle with corn. Let's open this up and give it a second. Hopefully we get a little bit of water running out here now. There we go. Yeah, that hose has been laying under the barn for a while. Got some trash up in it. Yeah, it's a slow flow there. Let it run on down. Hopefully make it all the way to the other end. Be surprised that corn will draw that water up. So we got two methods going. Hopefully let it run to the water's out. Do it again in a few days. So anyway, hope you enjoyed that. We're going to let it run here till we get all the water out of the tank. Hope you enjoyed the video. Just you know, a way that we take something and try to make use of it. It may not be the prettiest thing, gets the job done though. So anyway, hope you liked the video. So I'd love to keep doing these kind of videos. Maybe give me a thumbs up and give me a subscribe, and maybe we can start to build a foundation and get more viewers and continue to do it. Thanks a lot. See you next time.